From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2012, these are the Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, May 25, 2016. Hams throughout the Salvation Army's International Emergency Response Network, known as Saturn, are grieving the loss of one of Saturn's founding fathers.
Major Patrick E. McPherson, WW9E, who co-founded the Disaster Response and Relief Arm of the Salvation Army, has become a silent key. Saturn, or the Salvation Army Team Emergency Radio Network, began in 1988 as a project McPherson undertook with 3 other radio amateurs. It has long since grown to be an international emergency communication and assistance organization and an official program of the Salvation Army. In fact, barely 2 months after its creation, Saturn already secured a prominent place on the disaster assistance map by facilitating communications between Jamaica and the United States during 1988's Hurricane Gilbert. McPherson had been Saturn's director for more than 23 years, leaving the post only 5 years ago. He died on May 14th in St. Joseph, Michigan. His legacy continues, however. The SaturnNet meets weekdays on 14.265 megahertz at 1500 UTC. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
The year-long National Parks on the Air event rolls on, and it seems as if each activation is as unique as the various locations. The recent New River Gorge activation in West Virginia was no different. Here's Randy Dameron, N8XCA.
Well, today we're known as Amateur Radio Trolls because we are indeed under the bridge. It's been a great day for us. It all started with an idea back in December. I happened to catch ARRL's website about promoting the partnership with the National Park Service 100th anniversary, and they were encouraging amateur radio operators, of course, to pick their favorite national park. West Virginia, we have 2, one up in the Panhandle, and of course the New River Gorge National River. And over the New River Gorge National River is the New River Gorge Bridge that is 3,036 feet long, and in the middle of the arch is 876 feet off the river. It's a very unique structure. We're very proud of it here in the state. It's also featured on our state quarter. It seemed to make sense, not just to be under the bridge for our station, but the unique thing about our special event station today is we're suspending 2 in-fed antennas under the catwalk of the bridge. That makes us pretty unique. So we're running 20 meters, 40 meters. We're also running VHF on 2 meters, and we had some 6-meter contacts as well.
Randy is the brother of our own Jim Dameron, N8TMW, who was also along for the fun. Dayton 2015 is in the books, but last week Paul Brown caught up with Arthur Kunst, W3WM. At 94 years young, he was packing his bags for the trip from his home in Pennsylvania for another of his many trips to ham radio Mecca.
Arthur was first licensed in 1939 and has remained active as a ham all through the years. In fact, as he approaches 94 years old, he's getting ready for another trip to Dayton.
I've been interested in Dayton for a long time, so I've had the opportunity to go there. I've probably been there at least 20 times. I really can't tell you how many times it is. I do know that on one occasion, my wife, who always went with me, went with the ladies group, keep herself interested and happy, and she won the grand prize for the ladies in that particular year. It was a big outdoor roadster type thing. Had difficulty bringing it back in the automobile. And then I've been a long-time member of QCWA, and one of the chapters in Florida, I learned that we had one of the original founders of the Dayton Ham Fest, and he would tell us about how it all got started a long time ago. And as he represented it, he said that the mission was a very small thing with a small concept in mind, a local type of a thing. And he said they would make all their plans around the kitchen table. And that was all that was necessary to do in those days. Well, it grew and grew and grew, and of course the kitchen table did not suffice anymore.
Arthur Kunst is a ham with a fascinating story to tell and a lifelong fascination with amateur radio. We can all hope that we're still going strong when we turn 94.
There's more to Arthur's interview, lots more, and you can hear it all in this week's Amateur Radio Newsline Report. We also say goodbye to Newsline's dear friend Dave Bell, W6AQ. Finally, another reminder that the nominating period for the Bill Pasternak Young Ham of the Year Award is now open through the month of June. More information in the nominating form can be found on the Newsline website under the YHOTY tab. And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for over 38 years and counting at www.arnewsline.org. With Paul Brown, WD9GCO, Randy Dameron, N8XEA, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide. I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5TW. 73. We'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.